Hey, this is Justin from breakintocre.com, and in today's video what we're going to do is go over 5 key commercial real estate loan terms that you need to know before heading into your first or next commercial real estate investment deal. So if you're looking to buy your first commercial real estate investment property, or you're looking to break into commercial real estate and want to understand how commercial real estate loans work, definitely stick around for this video. Now on this channel we talk about real estate investing careers and real estate financial modeling, so if you're looking to break into the real estate investment industry or do your first commercial real estate deal on your own, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell to be notified every time I release a new video. Now if you're not all that familiar with commercial real estate loans, there are a few things that are going to be very different than your traditional 30-year fixed rate mortgage on a single family home. So by the end of this video, you're going to know 5 different commercial real estate loan terms that you need to know specific to commercial deals as a borrower, and how each of these is going to affect the cash flows on your deal. So the first term that's generally going to differ from a single family home loan is that commercial real estate loans often have what are called interest-only periods. And an interest-only period is exactly what it sounds like. It's a period of time where you only pay interest payments on your outstanding balance of the loan. Now, oftentimes this is offered by lenders for the first 12 to 36 months of a loan, especially when there's a major renovation going on at the property and cash flow might be a little bit tight in the first 1 to 3 years of that deal. Now, as a borrower, this can make a huge difference in your overall cash flow, especially if you're adding value to the property. So take, for example, a $1.5 million property acquisition. And let's say on that $1.5 million property acquisition, you put a $1 million loan on that deal for a 66% loan to value. Now let's also say that that loan is a 25-year amortizing loan and it's a 5% interest rate. And with that, your annual loan payment would be $70,151. However, if that first year was just interest-only payments, your overall debt service to that lender for the first year would drop over $20,000 down to $50,000 for the entire year. Now this is really helpful because it can drastically increase your cash-on-cash return during this time period. So let's say for that same scenario, that property that you buy is a 6% cap rate, meaning that in that first year, you can expect to earn $90,000 in net operating income after all expenses are paid. Now that said, in the scenario where you pay those principal payments, your cash-on-cash return is only 3.97%. But in the scenario where you only pay interest payments, your cash-on-cash return jumps from 3.97% to 8% for the year. Now, especially if you're planning to add value to the property and grow that net operating income over time, getting that boost in your cash-on-cash return and making sure that you're achieving that for your investors can be huge for your overall returns on the deal. Now, the second term that you'll run into in a commercial real estate deal is a prepayment penalty. Now, if you go to sell your single family home and you pay off that loan, generally you're not going to have any sort of penalty associated with that. But in the case of commercial real estate, oftentimes you'll have some sort of a prepayment fee associated with paying the loan off before that loan actually matures. Now this can be based off of a few different things, but generally as a prepayment penalty, you're going to see a prepayment penalty as either a percentage of the loan amount or a yield maintenance prepayment penalty. Now for a flat percentage prepayment penalty, usually you'll see this as what's called a step down amount. So you may hear someone referring to a 7-year loan term with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 prepayment penalty. And what that means is that that prepayment penalty is 5% in that first year, 4% in that second year, 3% in that third year, and so on. So in this scenario, obviously, the later your prepayment, the lower your prepayment penalty is going to be. And if you're in those last 2 years of the loan term, you likely won't have any sort of prepayment penalty on that loan. Now, yield maintenance is much more complicated than the flat rate percentage, but essentially what the yield maintenance prepayment penalty is doing is it's making the lender whole for those interest payments that they would have earned had you kept that loan until maturity. So to calculate this prepayment penalty, lenders will usually take the difference between the interest rate that you're currently paying on the loan and the equivalent term yielding US Treasury rate, and calculating the difference in interest payments between those for the remainder of that loan term, and then taking the present value of those values based on the current equivalent term US Treasury rate. So after all of those calculations, the lender is going to come up with some sort of a prepayment amount. Oftentimes, this can be a very expensive way to prepay a loan, so avoiding a yield maintenance prepayment penalty is something that you definitely want to consider. You may also have something called a defeasance clause in your loan term, and essentially what that does is it allows the borrower to substitute the real estate as the collateral with a portfolio of US securities that will generate that same debt service. Now, this isn't necessarily a penalty, but this can be very costly to the borrower in the case that they have to defease the loan. Now, the third term that you want to know is floating rate debt. Now, floating rate debt just means that the interest rate is going to go up and down based on a predetermined interest rate index. So oftentimes what you'll see in commercial real estate today is the 30-day LIBOR index, and that's going to be the index rate that's going to move on a monthly basis that's going to decide what those loan payments are actually going to be. Now, on top of that interest rate index, you'll usually also have some sort of an interest rate spread that's going to compensate the lender for taking the risk of lending on your specific real estate deal. Now, oftentimes you'll see floating rate debt on construction loans or shorter term loans with a higher degree of risk, but also with a much shorter duration, so the borrower can get out of the loan much more easily and flexibly. Now, the fourth loan term that you need to be aware of in commercial real estate is called good news money. And good news money is when the bank agrees to give you additional loan proceeds if you end up signing a lease at your property to pay for things like tenant improvement allowances and potentially leasing commissions as well. So good news money is a way of securing future funding, potentially up to a certain max dollar amount, but it can make sure that you don't have to go out of pocket for all of your tenant improvement or leasing commission costs when you sign a new lease at your deal. Now, finally, the fifth term is a lockout period. And this is going to be really important because a lockout period is going to tell you a time frame where you're not able to prepay the loan at all. So there may be scenarios where you need to sell a property at a certain time, where maybe you get an offer that you can't refuse, or you get into trouble from a cash flow perspective and you want to sell that property. During that lockout period, you're not able to pay off that loan. So before you go into any sort of commercial real estate loan agreement, make sure you know if there's a lockout period and exactly what that lockout period is. So those are 5 key commercial real estate loan terms that you should know before heading into your next or first commercial real estate investment deal. Now, if you want to learn more about how all of these terms are put together and actually modeled in a commercial real estate deal analysis, I'd highly recommend checking out my free real estate financial modeling crash course, and you can grab that in the link in the description below. And if you want access to all of my courses, all of my models, and additional support from me, check out Break Into CRE Academy, and I'll also link that in the description below. Now, if you like this video and want to see more content like this, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this with anyone else who might find this helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.